Good morning. This is Crystal Woods with Seasons in the Vine, and it's Fresh Friday. And today I'm going to talk to you about Tuesday this week. I'm just going to bring you into a day in the life of. Wow, Tuesday was one of those days. Anybody have one of those days where you're like, what else is going to go wrong? Except I don't really say that typically. I'm just chill. This is growth in the Lord, to just be chill and kind of ride it out and be peaceful and just like, okay, now this is happening. Okay, shift gears. Now this is happening. Okay, shift gears. So this is what it looked like, and you can see where I'm going today. So I was scheduled, I had a client first thing in the morning, early, 8:30, and then home for a little bit, and just a small window, and then gone the rest of the day for work. Tuesday was a very long day for me this week. It's not always that way, but it was this week. And so short time at home with, and then while I was there with my kids, I needed to address Jack's allergies, which have been really bad this year, which everybody's suffering with them, that I'm hearing, like it's just really bad. So I needed to have a call into the doctor, figure out what to do for him. And then I had to also prep dinner because I wasn't going to be home for dinner because I have evening clients on Tuesdays. And so I needed to do all these things in a very short window of time. So dealing with the doctor first as I'm cooking ground beef and cutting up vegetables and making rice and doing all the mom wife things that I do. And, listening to the kids and getting them set up for their day and everything that's going to be happening. And the doctor's like, oh, well, can you bring him in? And I'm like, oh, I really can't because I am not home today. And my husband, who knows where he is? And Jack is still a minor, even though he can drive. So he can't go to the doctor by himself. And I was just hoping they would call something in. But she didn't want to call something in without seeing him first, which is fine, like due diligence, all those good things, but not at all convenient for what my life was holding on Tuesday. So I was like, shoot. And I was like, can we do telehealth? That's cool. Like, right? We can do it right from here. And so they were like, sure. But then, because the government is trying to take our children from us in various ways, side note, even though he's 17 years old and a minor, he can't use my telehealth account under his own name. He has to have a private separate one, which he has to actually give me authorization to even see. He's 17. Anyway, side note, that's a problem, folks. But because of that, that takes apparently 2 to 3 days to get the waiver signed and figured out. Like, I could sign it right away, but then you have to submit it, blah, blah, blah. It's not going to happen. Telehealth appointment isn't going to happen today, all because he's a minor, but they're treating him like an adult. So I was like, great. Oh, wow. All right. So made an appointment for the next day. But then I'm like, okay, Lord, I'm chill. Feeling the pressure, feeling a little pressure, but I'm chill, Lord. I'm stretching. I'm being sanctified. I'm going to keep my cool, and I'm just going to cut some vegetables and keep cooking. And I text my mom, and I'm like, hey, Mom, Jack needs like nose spray for his allergies. What do you recommend? Does he need a steroid? Because I don't think we're going to go see the doctor. On and on and on. And she's like, oh, try this. And so I'm like, bingo, done. Cancel appointment for the next day. Get him the nasal stuff. He runs to the store. He gets it. Check. And then there's this beeping sound from my dining room table. Why? What's beeping? What's the alarm? And Kate has type 1 diabetes. So alarms are a big deal in our house. Like, alarms mean something's not working right. And either her body or this machine. So her machine, she wears a pump that gives her insulin around the clock every hour. She gets a basal because that's what our pancreases do, and her pancreas doesn't work. And then gives her the dosage for the food she's eating. It died. The PDM, the very special technology that makes our lives, which is already super complicated by type 1 diabetes, so much easier. And yet it died. It died with no warning. It just died. And I'm like, this can't be happening to me today. I have to leave the house in 30 minutes. What are we going to do? Oh my gosh. But I'm like talking to the Lord, and I'm regulating, like, this isn't my kid's fault, even though I'm frustrated now. I'm super stressed. I'm feeling the pressure. Still putting dinner together though, and lunch. Because I had to take lunch with me because I wasn't going to be home. Anyway, feeling the pressure, but I'm reaching out to Jesus. All right, Lord, this is not beyond your reign and rule. This is under the feet of Jesus, just like I teach everything I'm encountering. There's a promise and a provision that God is going to see me through it. And I'm going to be able to be more than a conqueror in it, even if it really stinks. Okay, Lord, I'm in it. Like, let's go. So call the emergency number for the PDM. They do a test from like outer space, send out a signal. The thing is dead. I told them it was dead, but they got to prove it, on their end. And they're like, we'll overnight you on. Do you have another way to give her insulin for the next 24 hours? Yeah, but it's a really stinky way. So now we have to do hourly injections. That's a lot of needles in one day. So 24 plus food. Oh my goodness, plus any corrections. So we're looking upwards almost 30 needles. And it was like, sad and hard and difficult because it's like, wow, we have to go back to the dark ages of having this thing and we have to do it this way. So get her set up, run down the thing, count the carbs for the day. What are you going to eat? This is it. Here we go. Show her how to prime a needle again. The whole thing. Because, it's life or death. And if we do a needle wrong, you could kill her. You can't have air in it. It's a thing. It's a real thing. But I'm like, do I need to cancel? And I'm asking the Lord, this is opposition. I'm feeling opposition, Lord. Do I need to cancel? Is this you saying I need to be home today? Is this you moving in some circumstances that are stinkish, but are you trying to tell me I need to be home? Because I will listen and I will obey. I'm not going to run amok, Lord. And I'm hearing from Jesus, this is opposition and I want you to plow through it. And I'm like, really, Lord? And he's like, I want you to trust me. I want you to trust me with Kate while you're gone for 8.5 hours. I want you to trust me that we got this. And I was like, okay, Lord. All right. And he's like, and also I want you to call the pharmacy and get long-acting insulin. And I was like, oh, right. We have a prescription for that, for these kind of emergencies. Didn't even think about it. The Lord, he's got the ideas. He knows. So I'm just talking to him. And he's like, I want you to plow through this opposition. Keep every single appointment today. Keep every single one, Crystal. Do not cancel. Trust me. Okay, Lord. I'd take a day to rest if I need it. All right. So head on out to my first appointment. She's set. I call the pharmacy. I'm like, hey, I'm going to be running through that area on my way to 1,000 other things today. At this time, is it possible that we could have this prescription filled? And they were like, yes, we can. Get there after I have the one meeting, which was amazing. And then get there. And she's like, do you have the needles for this? Because there's a special needle for a pen. I might have it here. Hold on. This little guy. So this is what we were looking at. This is the long acting and a needle attaches to this. Well, I didn't have that. And so I was like, oh, we need a prescription for that. That's right. And the doctor didn't write a prescription for that because the doctor doesn't have diabetes. And even though she's a pediatric endocrinologist and a phenomenal one, she doesn't know what it's like when you don't have the supplies that you haven't used for 5 years and that you need a prescription for every stinking thing. Okay. So I'm like, I'm good. I have 20 minutes till I have to leave this place. In 20 minutes, they can call down to the hospital, get the prescription. We can get these. No, because the doctor's office is like outer space and you can't really find life there sometimes. It's a hospital. It's busy. It's a busy place. And so they're not able to just get back to you right away. So the pharmacist comes walking over and she's like, I'm just going to give you 5. Super sweet. She pulls up her shirt a little bit and she's wearing a pump. And she's like, because I know the position you're in. And this is just the standard samples we can give. It's only going to get you through 5 days because you use one a day. And I said, perfect. We cry, because it's just the hand of God. And we just resonate what it's like to have an immune disorder that it was just beautiful. Hop in the car, fly home, drop off the needle, stick it in her real quick for the day, race into the car, go to my appointments at work. Check in. My husband had to be a little more available yesterday and all of that. So all of that to tell you, total day from hell. I even said to one friend, we're having a hell of a day over here. Please pray for us. because it's opposition and I can feel it. I feel the heat. But we're going to stay cool and we're going to stay calm in the Holy Spirit. And we're going to regulate because the Holy Spirit gives us emotional regulation. We are stable. We are faithful. We have peace. I didn't even think about joy coming out of it, but guess what happened? At the end of the night, get home from work, she is laughing and having a great day. I mean, earlier when I had to stick her with the 40 units at one time of the long acting, that special one that I had to get the needle for, she cried. It hurt. It was very painful. Needles are painful. We all know that. And we hugged and we cried and I prayed over her. Settled down. She was good. Went to work. Trusting the Lord. Lord, just keep her. So he did. Get home. She's in the best mood I've seen her in forever. Her dad is killing it as a dad. And if you guys know anything of my story, this is awesome. And the dishes were done. So he killed it as a husband too. Wham! I would give you a high five if you were right here. Like, it was awesome. And so I was like, wow, trust the Lord. Trust the Lord and plow through the day and do your assignment today. And so I was like, okay. So sometimes when things come up, we know the Lord is saying you need to rest and you need to stay home. But sometimes there is opposition from somewhere else, from life, from the enemy, from wherever, from just people. Can be all different places. But the Lord specifically, because I'm in relationship with him and I'm talking to him about it and I'm inviting him into it. And I'm like, Lord, I want to do this in a way that honors you. I don't want to lose my cool. I don't want to lose my cool. I don't want to be, as James would say, a hearer of the word, but not a doer. I have every reason to lose my mind right now because this is such a bad day and I'm under so much pressure, but I'm not going to because I want to do this like you want me to do, Jesus. How would Jesus literally do this? And he's like, I'll show you. Get the assignment done. Plow through your day and trust me with everything else. Okay, Lord. And was I there moments during the day praying, Lord, I hope she's okay. I hope everything's going okay. And in between clients, I checked my phone. Things were good. But I was trusting the Lord, like I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do today. Whew. So with that said, opposition came up and I thought of Moses. There were like a million reasons, not really, but an exaggeration, for him not to go back to Egypt. He actually had 5 specifically. He said, I'm not adequate for the task. Who am I? I don't know enough. He questioned his ability intellectually. People won't take me seriously. He didn't have a great reputation with the Israelites. I'm no good with words. I'm not willing. He didn't want to go. I get it. Some days it's hard, but he pushed through the opposition and he went back and his people were delivered. He did the will of God in his life. And that is the call for each of us, whether it is easy or it is hard. And I just want to say this, and I know I've said this maybe years ago on a Fresh Friday. This is a rule in our house. Everything is hard at first. And just because it's hard doesn't mean you're not supposed to do it. It just means it's hard, but do it anyway. Just because it's hard doesn't mean you're not supposed to do it. Like people think the will of God is going to somehow be like cake life. I don't know. I'm reading the Bible and I don't see it. I don't see that. I see where they have trials and tribulation and persecution and difficulty. So Moses goes back. He gets the assignment done. Finally, I'm in James this morning and it says, count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds. That was my Tuesday. For you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. I don't know what you need to be steadfast in right now, but I can tell you being steadfast, being faithful is a fruit of the Spirit. And it is ours to have as we submit to the Lord. He will empower us to become a people who can stay cool. Let me tell you, I'm a volcano. Like in the flesh, I can be a volcano. But I was cool the whole day. I was feeling it. I wasn't denying it. It was pressure. But I was like, I'm with you, Lord. You're for us. You are with us. And you have a plan for this day. And your plan is that we're going to plow through this in your power and for your glory. We're going to get through this opposition and accomplish the task. James goes on to say, and let steadfast have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. Blessed is the man who remains steadfast under trial. Blessed is the man who remains steadfast under trial. Keep reading through that. I'm out of time. But in James 1, you'll see that. I just wanted to fill you in on Tuesday and encourage you, be steadfast, my friends. Seek the Lord. He will get you through.